Okay, welcome to part 5 of our Clash of Kings playthrough. This one's going to be a little bit different because actually I've done this episode, but just before I saved the audio file, my Audacity crashed and it didn't recover properly, the whole file. So what I've done is compress the video to the main points, and I'm just going to talk over it as it happens, essentially, just some pointers. So when we left off last time, we were at Weeping Town. We took a couple of bad losses, and so what I did was I made a little run to Volantis and hitting the taverns on the way to pick up some numbers and wait for my my companions to catch up with me. And in the way we just found these slavers, and I thought it would be a great way to start. So yeah, I'll just let this fight play out a little bit, and I'll just jump in when I think it's best. I managed to get Carver and at the same time fight a belligerent drunk to get a arming sword, which we replaced the piercing mace with, which I wanted to go with because I just quite like the idea of a mace or like a club or something like that, just so I can take prisoners. But actually that mace was piercing, so might as well just go for the higher damage. And as I'm watching this, it's quite funny because our army isn't what you would call an army, is it? It's more just a rabble. Yeah, so we have a rabble of people. Not exactly how I wanted or how I pictured this playthrough, but you don't always get what you want. Sir Jasper just mopping them up, and I was trying to get to this guy before he was murdered, but I remember as I was saying that he got murdered, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to this. He's dead. Classic. So yeah, Sir Jasper's gonna mop this up and we will move on. Awesome. Now again, we want to hit that 75 renown. We were at 40 when we left off, and this will give us, how many did we lose? Oh, we actually lost quite a lot, didn't we? Jeez. So I'm gonna end up giving some of that to the squad, probably Finna, I think. What I actually did was, after I stopped recording, I went away for a few hours just so that it was almost fresh to me as well, so I can kind of commentate as it happens. Now I'm gonna hit up the main cities again to try and pick up some units, which I do. And then we are now at Pentos, and I find myself some pirates. Again, 15 of them, 21 of us. Can't go wrong, can it?
Today the gods will decide your fate.
But then they turned to face us, so that gave me a sort of, oh, wait a minute, it's not so good. But I quite like this battleground. This because what you do is, I usually like to place my units at the waterfront if we start closer, or if we have better units. But in this case, essentially that water slows them down enough for our archers to pick them off, but we don't have that many for it to make a difference. And look at little Sathos at the front. You silly goats, get back here. You know, if I'm honest, I don't even remember if I win this one. But I do remember saying that we need to give Sathos or Sathos, whatever his name is, a crossbow so he actually becomes a little more useful. And wait, how many of these guys was there? 21? And there's 25 of us? I can't remember. But yeah, usually I would go and sort of distract them, but all of them came to me and I'm just not geared enough for this. So I call in the infantry for a last minute backup as probably my shield breaks, I think. There we go. Not good. And a falchion actually has bonus to shield. See, I'm trying to pick up a shield, but it's actually my broken shield, so that wasn't very smart. But I did manage to pick up an oval shield there. We do okay, actually, yeah. I actually get quite a lot of kills, surprisingly. I was quite impressed by that myself. Look at that. A little pokey poke. Come on. Silly. Yeah, we did good. We did good. How much renown do I get for this? 6 renown. That's not too shabby. Now, I think this is where I make a mistake. Yep. So, oh, 18 against a 14. Yeah, this is where I made a mistake, I think. Yeah. I got a bit overzealous. Delusions of grandeur, essentially. So I thought I'd go back-to-back battle, you know, nice action-packed episode. So this is the river I was talking about. What you do is, what I like to do is use the river to my advantage. So I place my infantry at the river's edge, which I do at this point, because the water obviously slows them down, and it gives my archers some time to, you know, pick through the units. But the problem is that I just don't have that many archers. So this tactic in theory is great, but in practice with this rabble of men, not so great. So let's see how this plays out. Weirdly enough, I think the pirates took a lot longer to get to us this time. That's why I was checking the map there. I think it was just a really long time for them to come to us. So I try and position Sir Jasper across the river, a one-horse, quote-unquote, flanking maneuver, which is folly at the latest. Look at that. They're not even out in the woods, and we've lost a unit. Not a good omen. So I panic charge them in. There we go. Oh, I just noticed the music changed instantly there. Alright, get in there. And they are just mopping up our units. I think I take a crossbow or something. Yeah, that's it. Done. Not good. So we took a loss there. And then we got lucky there. We meet a vassal of Volantis who offers us the mercenary job that we were looking for. Okay, it's not mer, but whatever. Yes, sir, I will take this mercenary task. So now we are against Bravos, which is fine at this stage because we don't have enough cash to be visiting the Iron Bank anyway. In that time, we do a campaign we get summoned to a campaign, but it's one of those ones where you just stand around, you know, where it's like, okay, meet me at Volantis, and you all hang around for like 5 days, and it's like, all right, good campaign. Now, this was great. We found a bunch of slavers with a lot of prisoners, which we can obviously pad out our army with. And I quite like this map when there's a lot of cavalry, because what you do is you get your infantry into that forest, because the trees stop the cavalry charge, like so. Gives us a bit more room to maneuver and actually kill some things. And just looking at my companions, I really need to outfit them. So I call back my infantry to the woods. Again, just for the safety. Oh, nearly died there, I think. Didn't notice how lucky I was. What the fuck blocked me there? we're actually okay, to be honest. We're not losing too many. Again, the woods were good to us. And surprisingly, I get some decent kills, don't I? I think the first fight got a good amount of kills. Silly horse searchers. Oh. Oh. That slash could have been the end of me there. Again, Sir Jasper is mopping up the end there. With that, we actually won a very good battle to start our... Look at that, we only lost 1 killed, 5 wounded. And this is what I did it for. Look at all those prisoners. And since we are a mercenary now, we get a mercenary payment which covers our weekly wages, which is excellent. Look at this. We're going to end up going into the 30s with this sort of units. What I'm doing here is debating what to take, but then it dawns on me that I actually can take all of them, because I do get those wages. Come on, just take them. Alright, so with that, guys, I will catch you in a proper episode in episode 6. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.